Welcome to Create Momentum for Positive Mindset. Today, my guest is Zara Zabair. She's a radio presenter. Zara, I'm really thankful and grateful to you. You came into my podcast.
No problem. Thank you for asking me, and it was something I have been meaning to do, so I'm glad I'm finally here.
Yeah, that's really great. So, how's your day been and how is your weekend been? So, were you off or working?
Do you know what? At the moment I'm always in and out of work, but at the moment I'm doing a lot of creative things. I get bored really quickly, so I always have to find something to do.
All right. So, first question from you. Please tell me about
Yes.
yourself to the audience.
Oh God, I've my background is in media, so I studied TV and film at university and at college, and graduated from that in about 5 years ago. And I did a lot of backstage things. So, I used to be a film director. I made music videos, made short films that were screened in cinemas. I edited them, did the whole pre-production to them. So I was very much heavily involved with film and TV. And I've been doing that for quite a while. I was freelance for a bit as well. I moved to Manchester. I was working with the likes of H. Darmy, with Media M, Usman Faruqi, if you've ever heard of him. I made his first couple of videos before he was signed. So I did a lot of things behind camera when I first graduated. And it was always my goal and my passion, however, to do presenting. Documentary TV presenting, children's TV presenting is my dream. Um, but currently I'm now doing radio presenting, which I find a whole new love for. So I'm loving radio presenting.
Really, it is a great journey. So,
Yeah.
how did you become interested in radio presenting, and where did your journey of radio presenting started?
So with radio presenting, it's always something I wanted to do. When I was younger, I used to always give my CV to like local community radios, hospital radio, but I would never hear back. And one time, about a year and a half ago, someone approached me, knowing the industry I'm into and the networks that I built. They kind of came to me and said, look, would you like to co-host with me on radio? And of course, I jumped at the opportunity to do that. And I was there for a couple of months. It was my first ever radio experience. And from there, I was headhunted from the station that I'm working at now by my co-host, Gary Charles. And he saw me and he wanted me to join Kemet FM. And of course, for me, that was an absolute privilege because when I was younger, Kemet FM was one of the stations where I would give my CV and want to have like work experience for them. So I was so honored that they wanted me to join them. So I've been with Kemet FM for a year and a half, and I've learned so much more other than just radio presenting. I've learned the production side of it. I've learned, how to edit and make your jingles and how to put a whole show together. So yeah, it's been about a year and a half I've been there now.
So, what is your hobbies and likes apart from work or being a presenter in a radio?
Do you know what? I just like to be happy. So whatever's making me happy at the time, I will do that. So for example, recently in lockdown, I've taken up keyboard. So I've been teaching myself like the keyboard on YouTube. I think I bought like a piano on like Facebook Market page for like £40 during lockdown, and then I just taught myself how to play the piano. And earlier on in lockdown, I was getting into meditation and self-love because I think it was a really hard journey for a lot of people mentally. I started reading books, and I never ever read a book before in my life, but I started reading books. I have I've shown before as well. I have this book from Vex King, Good Vibes, Good Life. It's like a self-help book. But people like Jay Shetty, Vex King, I've been following them a lot during lockdown. And yeah, reading that has helped, especially, when you just have silence and you're present in yourself. Reading a book it can get you away from the toxic side of social media. It can get you away from your phone, from your TV, and it's a beautiful feeling when you're actually present and you're doing it.
Of course, it is. Reading reduce about 68% of your stress and you will
Mhm.
explore about approximately 1.8 million words. But I don't know how true it is because I wasn't searching in a Google. And plus, I started reading in during lockdown, as I said to you, that how to win how to win friends and influence. This was the first book which I was reading, and there is a lot of good things
Mhm.
in that book. So I mean, it's a good book. So understanding about people. Well, like for example, you didn't get a time. If you don't get a time, and I am pursuing, can Zara, can you come for a podcast? Can you come for a podcast? I mean, I'm not looking on other side. Zara is busy. Zara is busy with the family or working.
Mm.
Just for example, so these kinds of things. So you learn a lot from the books, and your information. It's an information age, and that makes your financial or different categories. It help you a lot. So I start listening valuetainment, and
One.
it's given me give a lot of meaning to life and to know about the
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. One of the channels, and I did a podcast with a 17-year-old girl. She read about 350 books, so she want to read another
Yeah, that's
650
crazy.
books more.
That's
So
crazy. Like
really,
I've like even like with this book here, I've let me see if I can find the page. There's quite a few pages where I'll just highlight certain things. I don't know if you can see it. I just highlight certain things in the book that I really like. Like this I've highlighted here was, it's not about where you're at, it's about what you're doing about where you're at. And it's just things like that. They stick. Like I like my good motivational quotes, and there's a lot of that in this book that I've just taken, and I like that.
can I say you something? It said
Yeah.
be like a water. If you put the water in a cup, the you will see it's a cup. If you put the water in a glass, it is like a glass. In a bottle, be flawless. That's what it is. So
Yes.
obviously, it's take time for the human, as it's saying is very easy, and doing is hard.
Mhm.
So um, another thing. So a lot of us makes New Year resolution before New Year. As soon as New Year
Yes.
comes, we get to the routine, and we say, okay, leave it for later. Whatever you want to do or whatever task you want to do. So, how would you advise for an individual, whatever their goals or ambition are, they should fulfill it?
Do you know what? I feel like you have to set yourself a realistic goal. Otherwise, it's going to be, you're going to feel demotivated when you don't achieve that goal. And when you're setting a goal, the goal is there for you to achieve, because once you've achieved that goal, you can set yourself another goal. So for me, previously, before this year, I've always set myself a goal that I know I could never continue with. I've always set myself a New Year's resolution where I'm like, I know it won't continue. It won't last more than 2 weeks, which is like most people's. So this year, I've actually set myself something really simple, but something that will really help my health. And that was literally, I've got it here actually, is to drink one of these every day, a bottle of water. And prior to that, prior to New Year's, I I think I wouldn't even drink water every day. I'd probably drink one glass like every 2 to 3 days. It was really bad. So for me, just drinking water is your health. It's, your body is like your temple. You must look after your body and respect your body the way you would, with any religious place of worship. So for me, just drinking water was a very important thing, and it was something I wasn't doing. So for my New Year's resolution, it has been drink water. And actually, I have my diary next to me, and in my diary, it actually has a section. I'll show you like a random section where it actually counts. You can actually count how, if you are, it's this little water thing here, and you can track, are you drinking that glass of water a day? Are you making sure you're doing it? So it's just a way of me tracking it, so I'm keeping on top of it. And as I said, it's so simple, but the fact that I'm still continuing to do it, and it's now nearly end of February, I feel like I've achieved something, because it was a realistic goal to set myself.
Of course, everything is possible. They say make it so small that you can't say no to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There is a book called Darren Hardy Compound Effect. You won't see the effect
Okay.
in the beginning, but slowly. Let's say, just example, I'll give you 2 minutes. You read only 2 minutes. Every day you start reading for a week. You read 14 minutes. So calculate amount of the time you read with only 2 minutes. You're reading only 2 minutes. It's making a huge
Yeah,
effect. So we don't realize to doing the small things. We only want to do the big things, but not the small things. So Darren
yeah,
Hardy, compound effect. I mean, it's up to you. Whatever your goal is and whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve it. But see, you
yeah.
can eat you can eat a shark, but you have to chunk it in a pieces and make it eatable. You can't eat it just the long of the big pieces, but you can eat a shark bite by bite, so you can
Mhm.
eat it there.
Definitely, and everyone's on their own journeys. Everyone takes different steps at different times, and sometimes, it's not about getting there faster. It's about taking small steps to get to where you want to get to. And for me, this year it was just about health, and not just mentally, physically as well. And as I said, water, just drinking water was one of the simple things, but it's the direction to the end goal.
Yeah, of course, you have to take small step. My next question is, in
Mhm.
2020, what skill did you learn?
What skill did I learn in 2020? So, I guess 2020 was the year where I kind of elevated when it came to my radio show. So, I was originally doing the show with a co-host, and for a good couple of months towards the end of 2020, he had to, no longer be involved for a while due to family commitments. So, I was in charge of a whole radio show to myself, where I was putting together the production of the show, the content of the show, putting to editing the sweepers, the jingles, everything that you hear in between the shows, and I had to learn how to control the desk, how to learn all of that. So I guess that's where my radio kind of stepped up a level in 2020. But I think I learned so much in 2020, as many people have during this pandemic, because I've learned how to stay sane. Like, because normally when people are bored and they've got nothing to do, they'll go out and meet friends and go to a restaurant, go and do an activity. But we can't do that now. So it's just about learning to keep how can I keep myself motivated, and how can I keep myself going during this, and things like, as I said, reading. Meditation has really helped. Yoga, which is an amazing thing for someone to get involved in, and just being creative as well. Writing, if you like writing, I wrote actually a spoken word poetry, and I did a video to it during lockdown. All filmed in my room, just me on a camera, editing in my room, me on my laptop, written in my room, me and my pen. So it just you can always find something to do. There's never an excuse to be bored. That's what I genuinely feel like. If anyone says they're bored, they're crazy, because there's always something to do.
Of course, it's quite interesting. So now we go towards wrap up. There's a wrap up question which I ask. What
Okay.
do you want in life? What makes you happy? And what drives you?
Okay, what I want in life is I want to see the whole world. I want to be able to say I've traveled the whole world and be to every country, well, maybe not every city, but every country. That's my goal in life. I want to open my mind. I want to open my eyes to everything that's around us in this world. That's one of them. I won't be able to do both of these goals, but one of them I want to do. The other one would be, my end goal when it comes to career is children's TV presenting. I've always wanted to work on a children's TV show, Blue Peter, anything like that. So that, or traveling the world would be what my end goal would be.
What drives you every day when you become
What
motivated? What motivates you?
I think looking in the future is what motivates me. When you look at what you want to get out of life, that motivates you, because if you're not thinking about what you want, if you've not got any ambitions, if you've not got any end goal, then you're not going to have the motive to get up and do that. You're not going to have the motive to get up and achieve your goal or achieve your ambition. And I think, because I'm very ambitious about what I want to do, whether it's radio, whether it's traveling, I'll wake up in the morning and think, right, what can I do today to help me towards that journey? Whether it's a small thing like sending an email, whether it's a big thing like going and attending a meeting with loads of ideas. It's 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 ambition. I think it's yourself, your inner self, that, or me personally, it's me that motivates me and drives me. Nothing else, just me and my dreams and my ambition.
And what makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Do you know what? People make me happy. People make me so happy. Do you know when you see beautiful? There's so many beautiful people, so many beautiful souls, and so many amazing people out there that do extraordinary things, and people like that make me happy. My friends, my family, which is a very generic thing, but it's very true, make me happy. But do you know when you, especially online, you see a lot of people that what they're doing and the things that they do for not just charity but for their friends, for their family, that makes me happy. People with good hearts, that's what makes me happy, because it gives me faith that there's some good people out there in the world.
All right, Zara. Yeah, it's true. It is true, but it's depend and how if you are with the people influence you a lot. Even though if on work, let's say you have five people who are negative, then you will be completely negative.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, you say
But
that.
there's this thing, I'm going to try and find this quote that I looked at earlier, because there's this thing about energy, and I feel like, do you know when someone has negative energy, it's something that, oh, here it is, handling negative energy. So not everyone is going to accept you or even understand you, and some people will just not receive your energy well. But make peace with that and keep moving towards your joy. So it's about you. Forget about everyone else's energy if it's negative. Like, it's about you and about your joy, and if it's not matching your energy, you move away from that and you continue with your energy.
Of course, 100%. There is a small quote, you maybe laugh on it. If you say, if you want to please everybody, start selling ice creams.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and you can't please anybody, and I think this is why social media is so toxic, and I'm very much against it. However, for the purpose of my career, I do need to be on social media, but it is so toxic because people do look at other people, and it does affect them. But honestly, my biggest advice to people would be just do you and do whatever makes you happy, and don't, and if you care about what other people say or what other people think, then don't be on social media.
Yeah, of course. It says you can hold the hand that strike, but you can't shut the mouth that speaks.
Of course, definitely, and you can't control that, but you are in control of your life, you're in control of your happiness, and no one can make you happy other than yourself, because it comes from yourself, your own self-love. And when you find that self-love, you will be happy.
Of course. Thank you very much, Zara. I'm really grateful and thankful to you that you have given me your time and you came to my
No, thank you
podcast.
so much.
And before you go, at the end, my end question is that your message to your audience, your fans, or anybody you want to pass it. So what that will be.
I would just say, for me, I always live my life to be happy, but you know what, having a clean, good hearted soul, like, just be a good person and do whatever makes you happy, like whether that's going out and traveling and experiencing the world, whether that's working towards your career and being happy, but generally just saying something nice to someone, just saying one kind thing to someone a day. And I make a conscious effort of this, of just saying to someone, you look lovely today, or you're such a beautiful person. Something as simple as that can really change someone's day and make someone's day. So actively, I would just, I can't stress it enough, actively please just spread positive energy out to people, where even if you don't normally speak to them, just message them randomly and say, I hope you're having a lovely day, because it really does make a difference to people.
Of course, it is good to be positive like that. By the way, you're a happy-go-lucky, so it is hard to find people like you who are smiling and laughing all the time. Again, I'm thankful to you.
Hmm.
So hopefully, one
Thank
day
you
I
very
will
much.
be in the show. So definitely.